Sometimes love does not announce itself with fireworks or big confessions. Sometimes it appears quietly, in the stolen moments between two rising stars who are still learning how to balance fame with the desires of their own hearts. And sometimes, against all odds, love chooses hidden shores, where the world cannot follow, and where feelings unfold with breathtaking honesty. Hello fans, welcome to my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the post notification to get notified whenever I upload a new video. The entertainment industry often creates distance between people rather than bringing them closer. Long schedules, conflicting priorities, demanding agencies, and endless public scrutiny make it almost impossible for two actors to nurture something real. Yet in the middle of this hectic world, Yu and Tian Xuning found themselves trapped in the kind of emotional tension that neither of them planned for, but both secretly longed to explore. It all started quietly, long before the public took notice. Their chemistry on screen was undeniable, but what happened off-screen was something deeper, something gentler, something that unsettled them in ways they could not ignore. Every shared scene felt natural. Every rehearsal carried a familiarity that did not belong to colleagues. And every time their eyes met, there was a softness that lingered too long, a warmth neither wanted to break. Still, career came first. Love had to stay silent. Yu was rising faster than anyone expected, becoming one of the most promising stars of his generation. Directors praised him. Brands wanted him. His schedule was a maze of commitments that left little space for personal desires. Tian Xuning, on the other hand, was stepping into a new era of his fame. Fans adored him for his quiet charm, his expressive acting, and the sincerity that he carried like a second skin. He was the kind of person who lived deeply and felt deeply, even when he struggled to express it. Their worlds were loud. Their hearts were louder. But everything changed the night they decided to disappear. It was not planned. It was not discussed. It simply happened after a long shoot, when exhaustion wrapped around their shoulders and the weight of expectations became too heavy to carry. Yu suggested a break. Tian Xuning agreed without asking details. And within hours, they slipped away from the city lights and boarded a quiet road toward a coastal town no one knew they loved. It was a secret getaway built on instinct and trust. The drive was long, filled with unspoken emotions that fluttered between them like fragile wings. The windows were down. The night wind carried the scent of sea and pine. Tian Xuning glanced at Yu every few minutes, as if trying to memorize the softness of his profile in the dim lights of passing cars. Yu kept his focus on the road, but every so often, his lips curved into a small smile whenever he caught Tian Xuning staring. There were no questions. Only understanding. When they arrived at the secluded beach villa, the world seemed to pause for them. The house was simple, wooden, and touched by the salty breath of the ocean. Waves crashed gently against the shore, the moon shimmered across the water, and for the first time in a long time, the air around them felt free. Inside, their laughter echoed across the small living room. They cooked noodles, argued over seasoning, and teased each other like teenagers rediscovering joy. There was a spark in Tian Xuning's eyes that Yu had not seen in weeks. And there was a relaxed calm in Yu's voice that Tian Xuning thought he would never hear again. The getaway was supposed to be a break from work, but it became something else entirely. The next morning, they walked along the shoreline, the sand soft beneath their bare feet. Yu watched the waves. Tian Xuning watched Yu. And somewhere between the shifting tides, something in the air shifted between them too. It was unspoken but undeniable. A moment suspended between past hesitation and future possibilities. Their conversation drifted from career struggles to hidden fears, from public expectations to private dreams. Tian Xuning admitted that sometimes he felt like he was losing pieces of himself in the chase for success. Yu confessed that the more popular he became, the lonelier he felt. And then came the truth neither expected. Tian Xuning's voice was steady but soft when he finally spoke. He said he was tired of running from his own feelings, tired of pretending that certain emotions did not exist just to protect his image. Yu listened, his heart tightening. He had spent months burying the same confession behind professionalism and silence. There on that quiet shore, beneath the whisper of the morning breeze, Yu broke the barrier he had built around his heart. He admitted that Tian Xuning was the only person who made him feel seen in a world that constantly demanded perfection. He admitted that their connection scared him because it was real. And real was dangerous. But love always finds a way. Their shoulders brushed, then their hands brushed, until their fingers intertwined naturally, as if they had been trying to hold onto each other for far too long. It was gentle. It was honest. And it felt like the beginning of something they were no longer afraid to acknowledge. The secret getaway became a sanctuary. They cooked meals together, shared a blanket during cold evenings, watched the sun sink into the ocean, and talked about everything they never had the courage to speak about before. For 3 days, they lived outside the rules. Outside the spotlight. Outside expectations. But even paradise has an expiration. Work came calling. Deadlines returned. Their managers began to ask questions. And the outside world slowly crept into their bubble of peace. The night before returning to reality, the atmosphere shifted. The fear of losing what they had built started to cast shadows around their quiet villa. Ziyu stared at the ocean again, his thoughts heavy. Tian Xuning approached him, his steps quiet on the wooden floor. Without saying a word, he wrapped a jacket around Ziyu's shoulders and leaned close enough for their foreheads to nearly touch. He whispered a simple promise. No matter how intense their careers became, no matter how complicated the world around them was, they would protect what they had discovered here. They would protect the softness, the honesty, the connection born on hidden shores. And Ziyu believed him. The next morning, they left the beach house with hearts fuller than when they arrived. They returned to the city as professionals, as rising stars, as men who had roles to play. But beneath the surface, their secret getaway remained alive, tucked between their pulses like a shared memory only they could understand. Every time their eyes met on set, that memory bloomed again. Every time they brushed past each other backstage, warmth followed. Every smile held a whisper of waves and moonlight. And every quiet moment felt like stolen time borrowed from their secret world. Whether their story will ever leave the shadows is a mystery. Whether love will overpower career pressures is a battle they continue to fight silently. But one truth remains unshakable. On that hidden shore, Ziyu and Tian Xuning found something real. Something beautiful. Something they cannot forget no matter how far the world pulls them apart. Their love may be secret, but its impact is undeniable. Thank you for tuning in to K-Drama Bloom.